Direct indexing is often sold as a customization tool, and sometimes it's just that, a customization tool. But the reality of it is most people using direct indexing use it for one reason, and that's tax loss harvesting. So that's really the story. It's a way to keep broad market exposure while creating more opportunities to harvest losses in a taxable account. So, what is direct indexing? Instead of buying one ETF or mutual fund that tracks an index, you own many of the individual stocks within the index in your individual account. So, if you're trying to track something like the S&P 500, you're not buying the fund wrapper, you're buying the underlying stocks themselves. That may sound like a small difference, but it gives you more control, especially from a tax standpoint. And when you boil it down to the fact that you're just owning all the underlying securities within the basket instead of the basket itself, you might think, why would anybody want to do that? Well, the issue with the traditional index fund in a taxable account is that you only own the fund as one position. So even if the stocks inside your fund are down, there's not really much you can do with that. If the fund itself is up overall, those individual losses are trapped within the fund. That matters because even in a year when the market is positive, there are often plenty of individual stocks that are down. With a regular index fund, you can't really access those losses. With direct indexing, you can. That's where it becomes useful. Because you own those individual stocks, you can sell the names that are down and realize those losses for tax purposes. So you're not stepping out of the market just to create a tax benefit. You're staying invested, but you're being more intentional, really about how you manage those losses along the way. Those harvested losses can be used to offset gains elsewhere. And if somebody has capital gains from another investment, say a business sale, rebalancing, or something similar, it can be super valuable. That's why it's best probably not to consider direct indexing as a completely different investment strategy, but kind of a tax management tool using an index based approach. This usually matters for people with larger taxable accounts, high incomes, or gains they might need to offset over time. For somebody investing only in retirement accounts, is a lot more limited. But in the right taxable account, it's a very useful planning tool. So if I had to boil it down, direct indexing gives you a way to own the market in a tax-aware format. And while some people do use it for customization or to express their own personal preference, the real value is in tax loss harvesting.